Yay Networks.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome to Cheers to That Shit.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Laura.
Hello. Welcome. We're excited.
Yeah, we're just here for a good time.
All the time. A good time all the time. All the time. I know our episodes
All
drop like in the morning, but I always want to, what?
No, you made me think of a sweet story.
Oh,
Go
boy.
ahead. Our episodes drop in the morning.
And so I always want to be like, y'all should have a drink with us. Like, cause we're always drinking when we're recording. Cause cheers to that shit. And what else we're going to do. But I'm like, it drops Tuesday mornings. Like, I mean, you can, if you work from home.
Yeah.
Like,
depends on when you listen. Just because they drop in the morning doesn't mean people listen in the morning.
But like, drink with us. Enjoy us.
Yeah.
And we'd be funnier. What's going on?
I told you I was going to ask you that first.
Okay,
we already
you
had
do
this
it first.
conversation. What's going on?
Well, okay. So I did this thing over the weekend. It's going to sound so weird when I say it.
Okay.
But I tried this new foot mask.
Okay.
So
is that the kind where you put that thing on and it turns black?
No.
Because it pulls out all the toxins?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I didn't do that.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, when you get you hyper fixate on something.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been hyper fixating on my feet, which is like very odd, but I'm like, they're so dry and gross.
Okay.
And like, look at them. They're disgusting. So I got this foot mask. So I put it on. I was like, oh, this is really nice. And like you tie it around your ankles. And I was like, oh, this is like
then
so official.
Crawl around the house everywhere to get.
No, like it's like a boot. It's like a sock.
Oh, okay.
So I was like able to walk around and, whatever, but it's like this mask inside. And I was like, well, this is nice. So you leave it on for about an hour, hour and a half, and then you take it off and it says like wash your feet off really well afterwards. So I did. And the next day, my foot, both of them, so feet were like peeling, like a sunburn peeling.
Oh.
Like pullable skin off of the bottom of your foot.
Sounds lovely.
Well, it gets even better. So I was like, well, I'm just going to leave like socks on as I walk around because like this is kind of weird. But like at the end of the night, I don't like keeping socks on my feet. So I was like, I'll just take my socks off. And my oldest, who's only 4, and I swear to God, she's going to be like a vet or something or like a doctor because she's so into like when we went to Ireland over this past spring, we went to a farm and it one of Ryan's aunt and uncles, it's their best friend's like husband or daughter and her husband's farm. And we saw baby lambs being born and she was like in the lamb's vagina, like what? And she was like, this is the most incredible thing. And I'm like, are you okay? Because she was only 3 at the time. And she's like, I love it. I'm like, you're
so cute though.
A sick little weirdo. Anyway, so my feet are peeling and I was like trying to
come here, mommy.
Pretty much this girl starts peeling the dead skin off of my feet. And I'm like, you're such a weirdo. Like, you're so cute. And Ryan and I are like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, but you like popping pimples and other weird stuff like that too.
It kind of was like, you're like my little baby weirdo, like my mommy's little weirdo. Yeah. So that's what I did. I had my 4-year-old and I was like, you're like a little baby monkey.
Okay.
And she was like, I'm not a monkey. And I was like, kinda. Like, you're pulling skin off my feet. So that's why I'm also wearing tennis shoes because my feet are still peeling like for an entire week now.
What the hell was in that mask that's making you shed like a snake?
I don't know, but like the areas of like the skin peeling off, it's like as soft as a baby's bottom.
Okay, well, okay. So I can draw 2 conclusions to that.
Oh God, okay.
One,
I'm about to get like psychoanalyzed.
Well, maybe one conclusion. How fucked up were your feet that they're peeling like that after a foot mask?
Not that bad. I just like hyper.
Yeah.
I made it sound like I had like
nasty ass feet,
like Bigfoot feet. But like, no, I just
how bad do they have to be that they're peeling for days?
I mean, I get like pedicures like irregularly ish, but I was just like I hyper fixated. Like I just like I was like
overcorrected.
Yeah.
Okay.
I left it on for a little bit longer than an hour and a half.
Okay.
As well, but it's like on the thing it says that you're.
I've never really looked at your feet before. You're not a foot person, are you?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, that's why I think I hyperfixated. But like even on like the package, it says your feet will peel for like 5 to 7 days afterwards, and they do for sure. They still do. Yeah.
Okay.
Like this morning, I was like exfoliating my feet, and like a
chunk of skin came off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
I was like, ooh, that's kind of satisfying.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, if you don't like feet, I should have warned you before this. Like, fast forward. Too late now. Yeah. So anyway, do you have anything exciting?
Well, I'm so caught up in your story that now I can't think if I have done anything or not. I mean,
Well, you're by yourself this week, right? You're enjoying some me time.
yeah, I am enjoying some me time. It's just, being an empty nester is kind of a weird, lonely yet satisfying place to be.
But even your husband's gone now, so you're literally like,
yeah, he's
you
on a
slept in
business
this
trip.
morning.
Oh yeah, I did sleep in this morning.
Yeah, I get
Kinda
so
overslept.
my phone's broken, but I'm finally getting it. Like I'm getting a new one tomorrow, and she's broken. Laura like Facebook messaged me, and she's like,
What's the plan for
"What's the
today?
plan today?" I just woke up.
It was like 8:30.
Yeah, I was jealous.
That's so uncommon for me because I'm like clockwork, within 5 minutes every single day, no alarm. And today, I don't know. I guess because Dom's not there, I got the whole bed to myself.
Yeah, you were super
I had,
relaxed.
like all the dogs were sleeping on
Yeah.
the bed with me. I must have just been living a life.
Living my best life. No one snoring, no
Yes,
noises.
maybe that's what it was.
Probably
So,
you were in a nice deep sleep.
Anyway, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out all this empty nesting, stuff. Like, what does my life look like? Maybe y'all can give me some pointers.
You should talk to Abigail because they're in fucking Patagonia. So
Well,
enjoy
yeah.
that life.
I can't do that. I still have to work.
So does she.
Yeah, but she doesn't work.
She takes like 10 weeks off a year. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? She's like, yeah, what are they going to do? Fire me? And I'm like, Mom. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you work for yourself, you can't always do that. Because,
So I can take 10 weeks off? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Is that what I just heard?
No.
You heard it here, people.
No, that's not going to work for me. Because if I can't take off, you can't take off. And I love how people, which this kind of can, I don't know, can tie into our topic today.
Fun topic today. Juicy topic today.
And it doesn't have to be, I won't give away our topic just quite yet, but it doesn't just have to be your in-laws. It could be anybody. I love how people think when you work for yourself that you literally
are like basking in the dough.
Yeah. That you can come tomorrow at 4 because you work for yourself. You can make your own hours. You can come whenever you want. Oh, can we all come to your house this weekend? Can we, can you come Friday instead of Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, you can take off, right? You work for yourself.
yourself.
Yeah, it's not like that. I think people who work for themselves probably work a shit ton more than people who
absolutely, especially for small businesses. But even like people like when you work from home, people are like, oh, well, you can just come and have lunch with me for a couple hours. I'm like, no, like I'm working.
Yeah, I still have work to do.
I'm working.
Yeah,
I'm working.
Yeah. So
fun times.
Yeah.
But speaking of people making assumptions and all that healthy energy into your life, do you want to say what today's topic is?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a good one. We are talking about something that I think every couple needs to take very, very seriously.
Absolutely.
Second to maybe budget would be in-laws, specifically toxic ones, because that could be a make or break.
Fuck yeah.
And I don't think you realize that when you go into the whole wedding situation. But you are not only marrying your partner, you are marrying their family.
Yeah.
You are marrying their traditions, their values, their morals, their religion, their all of it. I can't even think of anything else. Their family recipes. They're everything.
They're hand-me-downs.
Yes. So I think that is an underrated topic. And I know I
don't think necessarily underrated, but I think a hushed topic. Like no one wants to talk about the toxic in-laws.
Well, nobody wants to talk. I mean, people do talk about them behind their backs.
But we're talking about it to your face.
But I say underrated because, for those people who go through marriage, counseling or, like the premarital counseling and stuff like that, or even a relationship coach, because we know a really great one, obviously, in our industry. And she talks about a lot of really important things, but it's more focused on the couple, on like how you're going to raise your children, how you're going to grow as a family. I just don't think people understand the dynamic of the in-laws on both sides,
Correct.
When I say in-law, obviously I'm referring to my in-laws, but I mean, like my husband obviously has in-laws too, which is my family.
Right.
So
which is so weird because I don't ever think about like Ryan, like I don't ever think about my parents being his in-laws. I'm like, no, they're my parents.
Right.
Right. Okay. That was exciting. Our power just went out. So if you hear a little audio change,
And screaming.
That's why we're in like I think we've said this before. We're in like a cute little warehouse.
Well, it's like an office
and like
building.
Laura just like, she was like, let me just run outside because we've been having storms this past week. Laura was like, let me just run outside and make sure we're not like in the middle of a tornado because like we don't have our phones or anything out here. Well, so if like something crazy happens, we're like, yeah, well, it is what it is. And we're recording our podcast.
It's dark in this room and the doors are closed, so you can't see outside.
Yeah.
Or then I started thinking, well, maybe there was a car accident. Somebody took out a telephone pole.
Well, if it did, it did. So what we were talking about, we're going to remind ourselves. Is like the name changes. You just said that
name changes. We're not talking about.
Oh my God, I'm like, where am I? What we're talking about is in-laws, and you just talked about how your husband loves his family just as much as you, and you had just brought up The Bachelor, Bachelorette.
Yes, because you all know now that I have watched that season forever. But I think something that people need to be more aware of is, and what I've learned from watching these episodes,
it's like
is
when they go home and meet
they go home to meet the family, and we see the editing for ratings and all that kind of stuff, and they make these people look like so mean and so horrible, but you go through this whole show and they don't meet the families until the end, and then it's like, ugh, I don't think they liked me. They didn't like me. You got to realize you're marrying into all of that,
all of it,
and whether or not you think it's a big deal now, oh, I love him so much more. I can take whatever his family. Let me tell you something. It's going to come up.
Yeah.
It's going to come up.
Well, I think so, like going in on the wedding side of it, I think that the weddings are always seen as like an exciting time for the bride and the mother of the bride. And that's where a lot of animosity, I believe, comes from.
Yes.
From like the mother of the groom, if you're in a, female male relationship, right, is that your mother-in-law is like, well, I want to be just as involved as your mom. This is my child getting married as well.
Yeah, I would,
but it's,
I'd feel that way.
Yeah, I will. But I mean, you got to think about it like it's mother-daughter relationship, and it's the bride is getting married, and this is my quote unquote wedding, and like I'm, whatever. And the groom, it never really has much interest. I feel like there's always one partner that's way more interested than the other.
Well, it's a stereotype of guys, like 100%. Honey, happy wife, happy life. So it's like, honey, whatever you want to do, fine, whatever. Yeah. Meanwhile, the mom's probably over there like, no, sonny boy.
But I think when she starts giving her opinions, or she not necessarily even opinions, but when she starts caring and wanting to be involved.
Absolutely.
It's like, boom, drama right then and there. Yeah. Like, oh my God, my mother-in-law just wants to, but it's like, she just literally wants to be involved because
it's her child's wedding.
Yeah. But then.
Not always.
But then.
I'm sure not always.
On the other side, you do have those toxic mother-in-laws, and you do have that toxic in-law family, and you do have that drama that is there because of whatever reason.
Don't you think it's a power struggle?
Yeah.
Because you just
probably
said something. Not? Well, you just said something to me that made me think. You're like, oh, you do have that toxic mother-in-law. Maybe the mother-in-law themselves isn't toxic. Maybe it's just a power thing. It's a power, like this person wants this, the other person wants that, and it's like, oh no, my child's getting married too. I want to have a say.
I want to have a say in what happens at their wedding as well.
I mean, there could be some animosity and and all of that, but I think some of it probably comes down to power, mom against mom.
I think so. I mean, I think so. I think it's like a because you
my
have
family versus your family, kind of. We do it this way, you do it that way.
But then you have like the moms, like mother of the bride, mother of the groom, mother of whoever. I think you have like the moms, like the day of the wedding, like who looks the best. Like, I'm going to be the best dressed mom, and I'm going to be the mom that looks the best. Like, I'm going to be the sexiest mom.
It's a power
struggle.
And
it's like I'm here. I'm the one that people are wanting to see, and it's like. No, it's actually the couple getting married. Yeah, like it's actually them. I do feel like I that has to be where all this originates, all the drama originates from.
I think so too. And that's when we talk about budget and who pays for what.
We got to make this 50-50, people.
It would be, if it were 50-50, I think that might change the dynamic across the board.
I do too. We're going to take a break. We're going to compose ourselves after this power outage that we've been through. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how to identify toxic in-laws.
Yeah, and some ways to handle that too.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Let's talk about it. How do you identify? How can you affirm to yourself that your in-laws are these toxic SOBs that you believe that they are?
Because they're up in your shit, telling you what to do, or pulling your I have no experience in this whatsoever.
You're like,
or they're pulling their child to the side, and then the child, who's your fiance, comes back to you and says, so my mom, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's when you know.
Okay, well, that's it. The end. Goodbye. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Okay, so some ways. Numero uno, they are always in your relationship.
Yeah.
Dirty. Don't do that shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this too.
There's a show on TV, like a Mama's Boy, like on TLC. It's called Mama's Boy, and it is a relationship, a couple's relationship, and they like live with the mom, or the mom lives with them, and she's all up in her son's business, including their relationship.
Business.
We might have to watch that. But yeah, that would be a clue, is that they're all up in your relationship.
Yeah, I think dead on. No, that's gonna be like, I don't want to say too much because I'm like, but like,
why, you got a story?
I do have a story, but I'm gonna save it.
Another way of identifying how.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So number one, they're always in your relationship.
Yep.
Over involved.
Yes.
But number two is that they continue and always belittle your wedding choices or just your personal choices, belittle you. I have a friend.
Everybody has a wink, wink, a friend.
No, I have a friend. I'm going to preface this by saying my mother-in-law has passed away. So I don't have a mother-in-law at this moment. She passed away before we even got married.
Yeah, so you don't even have like a horse in the race for this one.
I came out on the lucky side.
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
No, actually, yeah. I think anywho. Continue.
No, I did get along very, very well with Ryan's mom before she passed. So we had good times. But I have a friend who her mother-in-law was questioning if you asked her, she would not be belittling her choices and like what she wanted to do. But like, she also, my friend, they are no longer married, by the way. Just part of the reason, I'm sure, but she had a sister-in-law who was their shining star sister-in-law. She could never do anything wrong. She had already had
her parents' eyes,
in her. So it was the in-laws had 3 boys.
Okay.
So the sister-in-law married one of the boys. My friend married another one of the boys, and then there was the youngest. And the mother-in-law was just like always questioning her and like just very much like, I don't know.
Nobody was ever good enough for her baby boys.
Right. Like, well, so-and-so stays home and she, takes care of.
It was
and
like a comparison game.
Yes. And she was just constantly belittling my friend and like very much like making it very obvious that the sister-in-law was the favorite.
Wow. That's unfortunate.
And even like at the wedding day, like what she wore to the wedding was just kind of like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah. That would be a challenge. I have to say, Dom is the only boy.
Yeah.
So I don't have to compete with other sister-in-laws.
No,
because he doesn't have any brothers.
Right.
So there's no other sister-in-laws. He has 3 sisters. So, that's an interesting dynamic because they're all sisters.
Yeah.
But I'm the only sister-in-law. So I always joke with his dad. I'm like, I'm your favorite sister-in-law. Your daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
I'm your favorite daughter-in-law. You love me the most.
Well, because you have the 3 boys too to carry on the
right,
and so you're like, hey, you're welcome.
I use that. I'm like, you just remember, I'm your favorite because I
give you your namesakes.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's fun to just have fun banter about that, though. But that would be really hard to, I hope that when my boys, if whoever they marry, if they marry, that I won't, be one of those people.
No, I feel like you'd be a pretty like fun mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Because you are for Jackie's husband. Like you're a fun mother-in-law.
I try to be.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's number 2. So number 3 would be guidelines on marrying their child.
Oh, you can marry my son, but you need to do this, 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 and this.
Right. So like going back to my friend, like, well,
I'll be like, I'm sorry, are you my mother? Or
yeah, like I just want to make sure you're taking care of them. Another identifier would be like influences their child's choices.
oh, he wouldn't like that. You need to do this. Or that would be hard.
And then something else. I'm like feeling really self-conscious. We changed our whiteboard situation. So if you're watching us on YouTube, we're looking down because I have
Can you even see that whiteboard up there?
I could, yeah. We moved it for you.
I mean like right now, can you see it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Can you not?
I cannot see the whiteboard that's like right there, but we have
behind
lights.
the camera.
There's lights in our faces. So we put one like right here on the floor.
On the floor. And so now I'm looking down to read my notes. But
so we're not as smart as you think. We don't have all of this memorized.
We have researched it.
It's all written out on a whiteboard.
However, we don't memorize our research. We keep it.
Well, we stray from that all the time anyway.
Oh yeah.
Like right now.
Like right now. Because I was feeling really self-conscious. So I was like, I'm just going to say this right now. So if you're watching us on YouTube and I look like I'm looking at the floor, it's because I'm looking at our new whiteboard situation. But we can fit more verbiage on there, which is making our episodes clearly more professional, obviously.
I concur.
Okay, so starts fights over little things.
The in-laws?
The in-laws. That's how you know.
Incites fights between the couple?
Or just between
in general?
them themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like you and your in-laws, your mother-in-law would just start fights over just like little
the dumbest things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asking for permission. Yeah, she just fell out. Asking for permission or like forcing you to ask permission to buy your significant other gifts or like a wedding gift.
We were talking about this before.
Yeah. Which I think is ridiculous. So this is the example that I saw online that if, let's say your fiance really wants an XYZ and you're like, I'm going to get that for him. I am like so excited.
Christmas or for his birthday.
I know he really wants that. So you're like, hey, mother-in-law and Bill, whatever. I really want to get him XYZ. He's going to love it. I'm so excited. He's been asking for this forever. And the mom was like, no. We're going to get that because we want him to be excited from a gift from us.
Right.
You can get him like socks.
That's almost trying to one up.
Yeah.
Here, do you want me to hold this while you put that on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. My earring fell out, so I'm just going to pop her back in.
So that in my mind is one-upping.
Yeah, well, but not even, oh shit. Not even one-upping, fuck it. Not even one-upping, but like just saying like, I want him to think of us as the favorite. Like we know him better, so I'm going to get him the favorite gift.
Yeah, but that's
I don't need you to give him.
That is, and
I don't think it's one-upping because you're not getting him something better than, you're refusing to even have that be an option. You're literally saying like, I'm going to get him a new car, not you.
Yeah, like something big.
You're going to get him.
You're not good enough to
socks.
get him that something.
I want him to think of us when he sees this car, not you.
Yeah, I'm the ultimate gift giver. I can get the most expensive things. I can get the things that he wants,
but not you.
Right?
Yeah, not you.
That's a crock.
Crock of shit. Yeah, no, I think that's bullshit.
That would piss me off.
Yeah, and then just full control. So I'm going to share another little story.
Okay.
That I have different friend. And this is where I'm like, do I wish I had a mother-in-law? I don't know. So one of my really good friends, and this got worse after she got married.
Okay.
If I had her mother-in-law, I would be in jail. I would be in jail. Okay. I would, like, even right now, I already know how I would kill her mother-in-law.
And we know you're the expert on murder.
And I love murder. So I already know how that would happen. Like if all she would have to be is like, Emily, it's time. And I'd be like, yeah, it is. And I'd get up and go. And I'd be like, done. It's time. It's time to go. It got worse after they got married.
Are they still married?
Yeah, they're still married.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, this is a different friend. They got married. They're still married. And they got married. They bought a house. Her in-laws moved to town after they got married.
Okay.
To be like close, for when grandkids happened and whatnot. Yeah. And that's what she said.
Admirable. Yeah.
Well, maybe. And so she's been constantly asking like, when are you having kids? 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 And like, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, we're living our life.
Yeah.
And they've gone through some fertility issues
course, yeah,
as well. So
go ahead.
That's an issue. But then this mother-in-law, my God, I love her so much. one example of knowing that a mother-in-law is toxic is she comes into their house when they're not there, cleans their home.
Oh, fuck no.
Cleans their home. And for a while, she was taking only her son's laundry, doing her son's laundry.
Shut up.
Folding it and putting it away and leaving the wife's laundry dirty. Like she wasn't touching it.
She's got issues. That's not normal. Please tell me that's not normal.
No, fuck no, it's not normal.
Okay.
Like, fuck no. But like, it was doing her son's laundry. By the way, these are grown ass people.
Yeah.
Like grown ass motherfucking people doing her son's laundry.
Mm-hmm.
And leaving it. Now she will do the wife's laundry. But she doesn't do it at their house. She takes it to her house to do.
Why is she even coming there?
Why is she even coming there? Is the question, Laura.
Yes. Okay. So, oh God, I don't even know how to approach this.
But and hold on, this is where it gets really fucked up too. If you were to ask her, "Hey, why are you doing this?" I just want to help him out. Like that's what she would say. I just want to help him out. Blah blah blah. But the reason. Help them out. I want to help them out. But the reason she's doing it is because she doesn't feel like my friend can take care of her son the way that she could. So that's why she's doing it.
That's the root cause. That's the root cause.
That's the root cause.
And
I'm going to have a drink on that one.
Although
this shit gets me, I fucking hate her.
Although I suppose I could appreciate that because every mom wants to think that they know the best for their kids. But having
this boy is in his 30s.
Yes. And I have 4 adult children. One's married. They're still young adults, but they're adults.
Yeah.
I stopped doing their laundry in high school, and I am damn sure not going over to their house to do their laundry. I don't care if their significant other can do laundry or not do laundry. I'm not going over there. But I'm going to tell you right now, if my mother-in-law, may she rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Okay. Came to my house and only did Dom's laundry or whatever she was going to do. Cook, it doesn't matter, because she thought
that you couldn't take care of him.
That I couldn't take care of him in the way that he needed to be taken care of. Sometimes when family dynamics get into the mix, I might go to him and say, "Hey, whatever, could you talk to your dad? Could you talk to your sister?" Try to get him to intervene because it's his family. Okay. That's one of those situations where I'd probably go straight to her and be like, yeah, that needs to stop.
Oh, well, she used to do their bed sheets as well.
No.
Bed sheets.
Yeah, no.
Bed sheets.
No.
Let's just let that soak in for a second.
I want my family, my in-laws, everyone to feel comfortable at my house, but I don't want that comfortable. I don't want you just coming into my personal space, doing my laundry, doing
sit down on my couch, but don't go take the sheets off my bed.
I mean, you still have to be like, "Hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Can I come in?"
Yeah. No. So yeah, it was.
Nice. And they're still married. How does that work?
We'll talk about it. We'll take a break and then we'll talk about it on how to try to resolve in-law relationships.
I'm not sure there's a way to resolve that, but
not that one, but maybe we'll talk about it. All right, let's talk about how to I'm going to quote unquote how to fix.
Yeah, we were getting pretty heated about that last one, rightfully so. So maybe we should just
let's
transition into how to, maybe rectify some of this stuff.
Let's take a turn. So one tip would be to try to find common ground. Okay. So you both love the in-law, love the son, child of the in-laws. And maybe there's some common ground you can find. One thing that we said how to identify was like if they are forcefully making a decision. So like, no, my son loves this cake, so you need to get your wedding cake from our baker. Maybe you can find common ground. Like, hey, we both love this bakery. They do the same cake. Like, let's do this cake tasting together. Let's try to figure out this cake. I want you to be involved, whatever. Like, try to find some common ground. That would be one.
That seems fair.
Tipperoo.
Yeah.
Another one would be the easy meetings, easy vendor meetings, trying to figure out like, hey, like I think something that a lot of mother of the grooms miss out on is the wedding dress and like trying to be there and wanting to be a part of it. But it's like, how do you cross that line? Like maybe if you feel so compelled to invite her to that like, hey, I'm going to try on dresses, even if you don't find the dress, like at least she's still involved. That's an easy, I feel like that's an easy option because you will also be with your mom maybe, or people that also support you. So it's not just like it's going to be you and her one-on-one where you're outnumbered, or she can easily belittle your choices because she will be outnumbered, hopefully.
Yeah. That just kind of takes me back to Jackie's wedding. And even though Jackie's my only daughter and I have 3 boys, that was my moment to shine.
Yeah.
But I was very, very, very much wanting to include Ben's mom in the process because, even though traditionally we were doing a lot of things traditionally, we were paying for things and whatnot. I just wanted her to be involved because my thought was that's her kid's wedding too. Mm-hmm. So, I invited her to tastings when we went out to the venue for the tasting. Yeah. It was me and I think Dom went and Jackie and Ben, obviously, and I invited them to come. Like, no, they weren't paying for any of that, but it was just about involving her.
The respect.
Yes. I asked her, does she want to plan a wedding shower together with Jackie? I tried to include her in as much as I could because I wanted her to feel involved because it was her child's wedding. That is how I would want to feel. Yeah. If, and I guess one of my boys will just say that because, typically the groom's family isn't as involved. That's how I would want to feel if one of my boys was getting married. I'm hope that I wouldn't be that overbearing, mother-in-law coming at them, but just try to include me.
Like you're still my kid. Like I still want to be a part of it. Yeah. Well, I think too, like if my sister-in-law lives in Northern Ireland, but I do think that if she would have lived here, I 100% feel like I would have been like, hey, Kristen, like I really want you to come and be a part of this day. I mean, like we made a whole day out of it. Like me, my mom, my aunt, and my aunt's wife, like we made a whole, like we went and tried on dresses. I went and got my hair blown out. Like I went and had to I did that whole moment. I think I remember my mom, like we did that. And then we went and tried on dresses. Then we went to go have brunch. Then we tried on more dresses and like we were like having fun times and like champagne. Like I think I would have 100% been like, hey, I would really love if you would join us on this. Like I want you to be a part of this day. And if Ryan's mom was still here, I would have 100%. But that again, and fortunately, like I don't have a toxic in-law family. I will, well, ish. Ish. Ryan and I do not have any type of relationship with his biological father. We don't have any type of relationship with that. Anyway, we're going to talk about how to fix you guys. Oh my God, we're not here to talk about all of our shit. So also another situation on how to fix is try to have an honest conversation.
It is so much better to just
say it.
Get those feelings out there from the get-go. If something is bothering you, and because wedding planning is stressful, we've said that a million times, and you and your significant other are probably going to have difference of opinions about certain things anyway. As you're planning, but if you try and get it out there there early, hopefully you can deflect and move past that.
So I'm going to share this story. I just had this rekindled, sparks of memory. Ryan's sister and I, we've always had a very good relationship. Fortunately, like it's never been like one full of drama. There's never been anything going on. But I got engaged when I was young. I was 24, and I've just recently read that your brain isn't fully developed until 25, and even then, yada yada yada. But like social media was a big thing for us, and Ryan's sister was still following his ex-girlfriend, and there was like a whole issue between like that. Like Ryan was on and off with me and his ex-girlfriend. Like, who do I pick? And I'm like, bitch, you know who you're gonna pick. But
his sister was,
his sister was still friends with her on social media and still like liking her posts. And I know, thinking about it in this moment now, like I know looking back, like it wasn't like a I'm going to get at you, like a trying to be hurtful, deceitful type thing. But it really bothered me. Like it honestly I was like, again, I was 24 and I'm like, okay, you're still liking her post and I'm your sister-in-law. Like I'm the one that your brother is with. So I said something. I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, this really hurts my feelings. Like I'm really bothered by it. And I don't appreciate this. I feel like it's really disrespectful.
It's like she's undermining you.
Kind of, like, that's how I felt. I know that wasn't her intention at all.
She probably honestly was friends with her.
But like, for me, I was like, this really bothers me. Like I would never do this to my brother. And it really hurts my feelings. Like we're getting married. And as soon as I said that, she was like, wasn't my intention. I apologize. Like that's not at all what I wanted to say. Done. It wasn't like it was done. And so like
they
for
stopped
me
being friends or whatever.
She didn't like her post, didn't do anything. I mean, like,
well, that just, I mean, they probably just weren't friends.
It was, I think it was just like a habit of like whatever, move on, whatever, move on. Yeah. Which we all do, those habitual, like, oh, I'm going to like your shit and move on. Yeah. But like in that moment, I was just like, we're getting married and like, you're still liking her stuff. No, but it was like, honest conversation, had it. I felt good about it.
You have to be upfront. You just have to confront it
and like it was never a big issue. Like it was just kind of like, hey, this really bothers me. And she was like, I'm like, I didn't mean for that to bother you. Yeah, I'm sorry. And then it was done. So it was a seriously like cleansing moment for me. And I'm sure she didn't even realize that it needed to be one for us.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if that was like one of our best friends ever,
that would have been different.
A different situation, but obviously it was a casual thing when he was dating her.
Yeah.
So I think honesty is the best policy, and just being upfront with, you know, whether it's that or whether it's the, you know, the mother-in-law or, you know, sister, brother-in-laws, whatever it is, just your best bet is just to be honest up front and let people know how you feel. Why are you looking at me like that?
Yep, you're right. So another thing that we've already like glossed over is just keep them involved, keep them feeling like I'm not trying to take this moment. I'm not trying to take a child from you.
Yeah, I think you have to tread lightly on that. We talked about that earlier, because if you have that mother-in-law that comes and washes the sheets and all that kind of stuff, you know, the more you involve someone like that, they obviously want control.
Well, but that's when it gets into the next tip, is to set necessary boundaries.
Yes, I was just going to say, you have to, because otherwise, if you're like, oh, I'm going to be the bigger person, I'm going to be the nicer person, I'm going to try to include them, they're going to run you right over like a steamroller. Yeah. And then you're going to be worse off than you were before.
Agreed.
Like, hey, I'm going to bring you here to include you. And then they're just going to take over. And before you know it, you're done for.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is one that, you know, I don't know how it would affect, but like, have your partner talk to their parents.
Been there, done that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it great?
I don't think that it ever comes across the way you want it to come across, because you know, I'm sure that you're sitting there like, when you go to your mother, you tell her that I said blah, 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 blah.
You tell your mom to fuck right off.
You know, you're probably stressing like, say this, do this. I don't like when she does this, or I don't like when they do that. So you're probably very, intense on it. But you have to remember, they're going to their family, their parent, their sibling, and they're going to be like, okay, so, you know, Laura said,
my wife doesn't like when you.
Right, exactly. So they're not, they're not coming at it with the
Laura
fervor.
told me to tell you that she doesn't like when you.
So then that turns into like, well, Laura can fuck off, because that is not how we do it in this family.
You tell Laura that I said.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bye.
So that may not always be your best policy.
You're like, that's not a tip. We're gonna push through on Cheers to That show.
That would be my last tip. I mean, I'm sure that works out in many situations, and I'm not saying it didn't work out in my situation. What I'm saying is that it may not always come across the way you want it to come out. It sounds like a good idea. Like, honey, can you just go talk to your parents, or can you go talk to your friend, or whatever the situation is? But it may not, you don't know how they're going to deliver it. They're going to their family.
But then you also can have like someone being like, that's just my mom. Like, let it be. You know how she is. That's my mom. And it's like, no, talk to you. Like, I think this is another thing that I feel like is that men and women process emotions differently. That's just biological fact. We process emotions differently. Men are very factual. Right. Like, this is what's happening. Yeah. This is what's going on.
Yeah, well, we talk about that.
What it is.
Girls' drama goes on and on and on. Boys go out on the playground. They duke it out. It's over. Friends again.
And so, but I think that something that husbands could really benefit from, and I know I'm talking about straight relationships here because I can't speak for LGBTQ plus relationships because I'm unfortunately a straight white woman. So like, all odds are against me. But I do think that men, there are moments where it's like, hold on, just take a pause, take a minute. Mm-hmm. We know that you're seeing this black and white. This is how my mom is. This is how she's going to be. Right. Let it go. However, it would behoove any man to really take a step back and say, let me take a deep breath.
Yeah.
How is this making my wife feel? How is this making my fiance feel? Right. And listen to how she's feeling. Mm-hmm. And if she's saying, when your mom does this, I feel this,
right?
That you can't argue with. There's no, you can't argue how someone feels.
People feel how they feel, but
but my point is like, if your mom, let's go back to my friend, if your mom is coming in and doing your laundry, and even though she's saying it's because she wants to help you, it's making me feel like I'm not good enough to be your wife.
Right.
That's it. Bottom line.
Right.
There is no, well, that's just my mom. No.
Right. Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah. You have to be able to have that open communication and compromise. Like, is that the hill you want to die on?
Right.
Because, and that's why in-laws, it doesn't matter which side they're on. That's why in-laws get a rap of being toxic.
Yes.
Because things like that will come up,
yes,
and they can be extremely detrimental and harming.
And you're combining two different families.
Yeah, but you don't know that. You don't think that in the beginning. You're like, I love you. You love me.
But like yes, I love you. You love me, and I love who you are. But like,
family.
But yeah, big old purple dinosaur. But like, you don't think about like behind your fiance, behind your partner, there is another layer of family,
tons of layers
of how they became who they are. So just because you love your partner doesn't mean that you're going to love how they became who they are. So just like, it's just how they became unraveling.
How they became who they are is a huge foundation. Where,
oh my God, if you guys could see our hand gestures, we are playing this out. Like we're in some Shakespearean,
we're sculpting a family dynamic. But I think about, okay, this might be a little bit squirreling, but both my parents have passed away, and it was an interesting, emotional experience for me because I kind of felt like my foundation was gone underneath me.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the scaffolding, everything was like gone.
Crumbled,
and here I am by himself. So you have to think about this person that you're marrying. Their whole foundation of who they are is built on their family and their family dynamic.
Well, that goes back to the name thing that we talked about in the previous episode. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not just marrying that
I'm like,
person.
we're getting comfortable now.
We're getting serious.
We're about to take our shoes off.
You're not just marrying that person. You are marrying their family, whether you want to be or not, whether you think you are or not, whether you accept it or not. And chances are there are going to be differences with your values, your morals, your religion, the kinds of food you like to eat,
your traditions. You brought that up, like the traditions. It's like for me, we like Christmas. I'm just going to say, let's use Christmas as an example, my parents, me and my dad, we always watch one movie on Christmas. That's like what we do. We turn this on. It comes on 8:00 Christmas Eve. We watch it through 8:00. It's replaying over and over and over again. Well, Ryan's family, they watch a different movie, and it was kind of like, okay, well, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to transition Christmas? Like, I want both of us, especially since his mom has passed, like I want both of us to feel. So we now watch his family movie on Christmas Eve, and we have to watch it after the kids go to bed. But it's like it's a thing now. Like we watch it and when the kids get older, like, we'll always obviously watch it with them. But like we watch that once a year on Christmas, and it's great. And we've combined these traditions. And I know I'm speaking from someone who doesn't have to deal with in-laws on a regular basis, but there is that respect level. But then there's also the respect level of like, actually, no, I'm not going to get into that story. Never mind.
Just kidding. I think it's safe.
I'm like, fine line between talking about family and talking about it publicly on a podcast. But
I think they're just, as you're navigating through this wedding planning process and you're so in love and you're making these decisions about your vendors and everything that's going to go into your wedding, there's going to be differences of opinion between you and your partner, as well as your family and their family. And you have to do your best to identify the things that could be issues and try to work through them the best you can, and use the tools that you have and friends and advice to kind of how to navigate through that, because the last thing you want is a toxic in-law relationship.
That, and sometimes you genuinely just have to accept what just can't be changed. Like that just may be it. Like you may just have to accept, like, yep, that is just how your mom is. And yes, that is just what's gonna happen.
We'll do that on Christmas, but we're going to do this on Thanksgiving.
Every other year, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Y'all do that. Y'all do Christmas, Thanksgiving every other year.
Yeah, but I mean, that wasn't because...
No, not of toxic issues, but like just...
we picked certain things. It's like, we're going to do this.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it all plays out like... you and this person, you love each other very much. We're going to make this work. And you do have to have that open communication, 100% one-on-one. Like, this is what we want to do. And this kind of goes back to an episode that we did about authenticity. And this is your wedding day. This is your moment. And yes, my mom wants me to have mushrooms at my cocktail hour. Whoever wants you to wear this or do that or dance to this song or have this type of cake because this is the cake that means so much to you. Yeah. And it's like, I understand that, but
compromise.
At a certain moment of the wedding, we can't compromise. Like, we do have to have this wedding be about us, and we do have to have this relationship be about us, because at the end of the day, you go to sleep with your fiance and your in-laws go to sleep with themselves, and your parents go to sleep with themselves. Like, your mother-in-law isn't laying in the middle of you and your fiance.
Compromise is a good word though, or a good tactic,
right?
Because that's going to come into play when you start raising kids as well.
Oh my God. And it gets worse after kids, so y'all got to figure this shit out before you even have them, because motherfucker.
I feel like come sit on our couch. We could talk about in-laws all day long.
Come on, sit down. We want to have a spot right here for you.
But better than that, we love to hear your stories.
Oh my God. Could you imagine in-law stories?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear
those. Have to be the best ones.
All right. Stories at cheerstothatshit.com. We want to hear those stories. We want to get all the tea. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. We're trying to be a thing. So we need you guys. We need y'all support. Yeah. We appreciate you guys listening to us this far. I think we're on episode something. But apparently once you've hit past 10 podcast episodes, you're considered a veteran podcaster. So we're heavy in the
Cheers
business.
To that shit. We're veterans.
Bitches. All right, guys. We will talk to you guys next week. Have a great week. Until then,
cheers to that shit.